Early retirement might not seem like an option for some, but what if you lowered your target? What if you could live indefinitely without worrying about a financial crisis? In this video, we're going to talk about the 3 different countries that you could retire in right now with a $500,000 dividend portfolio. I think you're going to enjoy this. Hey everyone, thanks for clicking on this video. I appreciate you all, and I wanted to encourage you to subscribe to this channel if you are interested in building your net worth and retiring early. My goal with this channel is to be as transparent as possible with my finances so you can learn from my triumphs and failures. Getting back to our topic, I have always been fascinated with the idea of retiring early, and it is 100% my intention to pursue that. But my idea of retirement might look different than yours. And that is the main reason that I wanted to make this video. For those who are okay living on a tight budget and are ready to take the next big adventure, this video is for you. First, I wanted to start off by defining my parameters for a dividend portfolio. Let's pretend that you have a $500,000 dividend portfolio that is equally split between VYM or Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF, which is currently producing a 3% dividend at the time of filming. SPYD or SPDR S&P 500 High Dividend ETF, which is currently producing a 5% dividend yield at the time of filming. And O or Realty Income, which is currently producing a 4.5% dividend yield at the time of filming. Now, let's add all those together and your dividend yield should be a little bit over 4% yearly. But for the sake of making this easy for us all, let's just say that at the end of the day, you are getting an even 4% per year from your $500,000 dividend portfolio. Of course, with some quick math, this is going to equal about $20,000 per year income. Keep in mind that some of these stocks produce qualified dividends and some count as ordinary income. Regardless, with this low of an income, you aren't going to be paying a ton of tax, if any. I actually made a full video about my mistakes with dividend stocks, so be sure to head down to the description section after this video is over and check it out. Now, $20,000 per year comes out to about $1,660 per month. This might not seem like a lot of money where you live, but there are many countries around the world that are not only desirable to live in, but also where this income would get you far. So with that being said, what countries can we comfortably live in with a constant income of $1,660 per month? Let's start off with number 1, which happens to be my favorite, and that is Indonesia. While Indonesia as a whole is very cheap, I am specifically going to be talking about the island of Bali. In another video, I mentioned that my wife and I spent 38 nights in Bali and spent $2,000 all in. And we could have done it for half that or even less. I want to introduce my 5-point criteria for determining affordability by cost of common lifestyle choices. And those are lodging, transportation, food, entertainment, and medical expenses. I know a lot of people don't think about medical expenses, but it is necessary to consider when staying somewhere for an extended amount of time. Now let's talk about the costs. Since we are talking about living an affordable life here, let's just picture that we would be renting a small apartment or a hotel room monthly. That includes all of the standard amenities like air conditioning, Wi-Fi, running water, a comfortable bed, a desk, etc. If you hop on Airbnb right now, there are over 1,000 places for rent that fit my criteria under $400 per month. And there are 412 places for rent that fit my criteria under $300 per month. The thing about Bali is that you could find some absurdly priced places, but also some extremely affordable places like the ones I mentioned. Now for transportation. The absolute best way to get around the island is to rent a scooter at a fixed monthly cost. This will cost you around $80 to $100 per month. Add gas to the equation, and we are probably looking at around $150 per month, all in, depending on how much you get around. Next up, we have food, and this is where things can get difficult to forecast. If you eat like a local, you could spend less than $5 per day eating dishes like nasi goreng and mee goreng. And if you want to eat like a Westerner, that could end up costing you $20 to $30 per day. I prefer to do a combination of both, so I would budget around $10 per day or $300 per month. Next up, we have entertainment. And again, this budget can vary wildly depending on the things that you like to do. I really love freediving, surfing, and hiking, which can be done for dirt cheap, assuming you have your own transportation. With that being said, Bali is great at catering to Westerners who love to party. And that is when it could get very expensive. I personally don't drink alcohol, so I save a ton of money when I'm traveling. But if you want to spend a night out at a beach club, be prepared to spend a good amount of money. Let's just say that in this scenario, my entertainment budget is $100 per month, and I would not get bored. Lastly, we have to address the question about medical expenses. I see too many people being unrealistic when they are budgeting for their early retirement. You cannot ignore this reality. And of course, what you consider a medical expense might be completely different than someone else. For me, I include all my toiletries like toothpaste, Band-Aids, and other bathroom products, as well as massages and chiropractic adjustments. On top of all this, you also have to factor in the occasional visit to a private doctor. In the United States, you are probably familiar with a copay of around $20 to $30 if you want to visit a doctor. But then you have to deal with insurance and all the other headaches that come with it. In Indonesia, you could visit a private doctor paying a similar amount out of pocket without having to deal with insurance. So in other words, visiting a doctor is much more affordable in Indonesia. And you don't need insurance to keep it affordable. Knowing this, I budget around $200 per month for all of the above. And if I have any left over, I could spend it how I see fit. So when you add all these up, you get $1,150 per month to live a pretty good life in Bali. That is $400 for lodging, $150 for transportation, $300 for food, $100 for entertainment, and $200 for medical expenses. This brings us about $500 per month under our target income of $1,660 per month. Now that you know what you know about Bali, that $500 per month can get you very far. The next country on our list is Turkey, specifically Istanbul. Personally, this wouldn't be on the radar for my retirement goals, but I have to respect that Istanbul can be affordable, but also has a lot of things going for it. If you are into the food scene, you are not going to go hungry roaming the streets of Istanbul. And if the culture is what you're after, again, you are not going to have a lack of culture here. Getting to our costs, lodging here is going to be a little bit more expensive than Bali. There are hundreds of apartments right now on Airbnb in the $500 to $600 per month range. Transportation here is also going to look a lot different than Bali. With public transportation routes going all throughout the city, you can get to most places efficiently and cheaply. I would budget a total transportation cost of $100 per month, but there is a good chance you will only spend half that. Next up is food, and I would personally budget $15 to $20 per day, or $500 per month. Food can be eaten cheaper or much more expensive. Think of super expensive restaurants like Nusret, made famous by Salt Bay, compared to Burger King, where you could get a full meal for $1.50. After that, we have entertainment. A lot of the entertainment value in Istanbul comes from seeing historic sites, checking out different markets, and just roaming the streets. But just know that Istanbul has plenty of Western entertainment options like movie theaters, events, and just about anything else that you could think of. For this, I would again budget $100 per month. As far as medical expenses, Turkey does have universal healthcare for its citizens, but as an expat, you will have to use private doctors. These are not as cheap as Bali, and you should expect to pay $30 to $50 out of pocket for each doctor visit. Then add any prescriptions on top of that. At the end of the day, I would budget $300 per month just to be safe. Now let's add it all up, and we get a total of $1,600 per month. That's $600 for lodging, $100 for transportation, $500 for food, $100 for entertainment, and $300 for medical expenses. This only leaves us with $60 left over. This is obviously a bigger stretch when we compare it to Bali, but it is still worthy of being below our income. Now we come to our third and final country that might be the perfect location for an early retirement, especially when we are looking for an affordable place. I will start by saying, there is a reason why Thailand is called the land of smiles. It is truly a nice place to visit and live. If you can deal with the occasional infrastructure issues, you are going to have no problem living a good life here. One of the great things about Thailand is that you are going to experience affordability across many regions, whether it's in the bustling street food markets of Bangkok, the sunny beaches of Phuket, or the peaceful culture of Chiang Mai in the north. So let's get started with our evaluation. In Bangkok alone, there are over 1,000 apartments on Airbnb that meet my criteria under $500 per month. In Phuket, there are over 300, and in Chiang Mai, there are over 400. And there are even plenty in these locations for under $300 per month. So in terms of affordable lodging, Thailand definitely has what we need. Transportation costs are going to differ. With a major city like Bangkok, you could easily get around on the public transportation system. But in an area like Phuket, you might need to rent a scooter or get an Uber to where you want to go. And you might want to bounce between these locations on cheap flights or buses. So I'm going to give us a $200 per month transportation budget. Food in Thailand is similar to Bali in that it can be ridiculously cheap. My wife and I spent nearly a month here, and there were some meals that we spent close to $1 for that were absolutely delicious. Thailand is one of those countries that you could easily eat for $5 per day, but since I assume you will eventually want some Western comfort food, I'm going to double that daily budget, giving us $300 for the month. Next up, we have entertainment. Out of all the 3 places on this list, Thailand is probably #1 for entertainment. You can go to a local soccer match for dirt cheap, hit up a night market, go to historic sites and temples, go to malls, movies, bars, and much more. And of course, all this stuff is cheap, so I'm giving us a $100 per month budget. Our last category, of course, is medical expenses. And Thailand is the cheapest out of our 3 countries. Let's just say that there is a reason that Thailand is known for medical tourism. Westerners come to Thailand to have procedures done that might cost an obscene amount of money in their home country. And that type of affordability trickles down into all forms of healthcare. If you need to visit a doctor for whatever reason, you can expect to pay $10 to $20 with no other fees, except if you need prescriptions. Since I want to factor in weekly Thai massages, I will give us a monthly medical budget of $150. When we add all these up, this gives us a total of $1,250. That is $500 per month for an apartment, $200 for transportation, $300 for food, $100 for entertainment, and $150 for medical expenses. This, of course, leaves us with a little bit over $400 left over to spend how we see fit. Hey, real quick, thanks so much for watching up to this point in the video. I appreciate all of you, and I wanted to encourage you to subscribe to this channel if this is the type of content that you are interested in. Don't forget to head over to my channel after this video ends and check out my latest monthly net worth update. Also, please like this video, share this video, and comment to get this video in favor of the YouTube algorithm. As you can see, the countries of Indonesia, Turkey, and Thailand are not only great places to visit, but they can be the perfect places to retire with a small dividend portfolio. And don't just take my word for it. Do the research yourself, visit these places and see if you could live there long term. As I was making this video, it really hit me how cheaply you can live in other countries. And I want to reiterate that in these scenarios, it's not like we are living a poor life. The numbers we went over in this video are going to give you a well above average life. Let's do a quick recap of the budgets that we discussed in this video. Remember, our $20,000 per year income breaks down to about $1,660 per month. Our first country was Indonesia, where you could live a good life for $1,150 per month. And I would venture to say that you could get this number well under $1,000. Bali in particular is a great place to live if you like an active lifestyle and a tropical climate. Our second country was Turkey, with an emphasis on Istanbul. If you are interested in history, culture, and food, this might be a good option for you. But remember, this was also the most expensive on our list. At $1,600 per month, consider your priorities for early retirement. Our third country was Thailand, with many different regions to choose from. At $1,250 per month, you can live a great lifestyle with budget left over. If you love Thai food, this is a no-brainer. Imagine getting your favorite Thai dish for $1 whenever you want. This is the reality here. I am very interested to hear what you all have to say about this. Do you think you can retire with a $500,000 dividend portfolio? Do you think you could live in these countries for $20,000 per year? Let me know in the comments. That's it for now. Until next time, keep at it.